What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Shabazz. Welcome to the channel. So the NFL season is almost here. It's a month and some change away. Preseason. Once the preseason starts, that's when I think football really starts. So I think preseason starts in like 2-3 weeks from now, which is amazing. I can't wait. But we're gonna just try to describe every team in just one sentence. I got this. Shout out to Colin Cowherd, one of the best on TV. I got this idea from him. He does like the 3-word game where he tries to like accurately and succinctly describe a team in 3 words or less. So we're gonna try with just one sentence. You feel me? But before I do that, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend to tell a friend, and let's get right to Arizona Cardinals. All of that for 3rd place. I feel like they just extended Kyler Murray, 5-year deal. Congrats to him, right? I feel like the Rams is a better team and the 49ers are better teams, right? So they're doing all of this, making moves, Hollywood Brown, all that for 3rd place in the division. That's crazy. But they are getting better every year, so they might squeeze into the playoffs, but we shall see how that goes. Atlanta Falcons, what are you doing? I feel like the Falcons is a weird team to look at because we don't know what direction they're going. So like they say they're all in. They try to get Deshaun Watson. They try to, add some people in the draft like Jake London, Desmond Ridder for like the future. But for right now, I feel like they don't really have a direction. Like they're not tanking. I wouldn't say that, but they're not competitive at the same time. So there's no clear direction where the Atlanta Falcons are going. Baltimore Ravens, better pay Lamar. Like at this point, I think they're gonna make it work. They're gonna work it out regardless, right? But for them to not have paid him at this point is like, damn, that's crazy. And who knows? By the time this video comes out, they may have already paid him. You feel me? May have already paid him. So if that does happen, let's go. But I get why both sides are being cautious. You know what I'm saying? But pay the man. Pay the man. Buffalo Bills. This is my year. You ever remember in high school? For those who were graduating high school or those who are in high school, like, oh, this is my year. Like junior year is my year. Senior year is my year. Like I feel like with the Bills, all the hype is on them for good reason. I think they are one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl. I think Josh Allen is one of the favorites to win the MVP trophy. I feel like if there was any year for the Rams, for the Bills to win, it would be this one. So this is my year. I think that's a reflection of what the Bills are. Carolina Panthers. Is Baker a bust? It's real known that I do not like Baker Mayfield, but him getting traded to the Panthers there's a silver lining on that. I feel like with him, it's a fresh start, well needed. He has to beat out Sam Darnold. We shall see how that goes. But this is one of basically his last chance to prove if he's a bust or not. And bust is not like, I'm not trying to say like a Jamarcus Russell or Anthony Bennett in the NBA, but more like a number 1 pick who didn't measure up to that responsibility as a number 1 overall pick. So this is that time to decide for Baker Mayfield, is he a bust or not. Chicago Bears, with the first overall pick in the 2023 NFL draft. I do not see where, especially now, like they're about to sell the team soon. I think they're trying to get a new stadium. There's a lot of back end stuff with the Bears. I feel like Justin Fields is getting the shit in of the stick. No bullshit. I feel like with the Bears, they obviously need a fresh start. They still have some key pieces in different positions, but they don't have defensive players anymore. Khalil Mack was just traded. They still got Roquan Smith, but not Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith? I want to say Roquan Smith, but still, it's still hard for them to be competitive when you got the Packers twice a year, the Vikings twice a year, and the Lions, who are a feisty team. Shout out to Kevin Wiles on First Things First, a feisty Lions team. Cincinnati Bengals. No more Bungles? Question mark? So for years, I think I made this reference in another video that the Bengals were really laughing stocks. Like they were not valid for years. Joe Burrow comes through, Jamar Chase comes through, and that completely shifts the spectrum on where we think about the Bengals. They made it to the Super Bowl last year. People think they might even be more competitive this year with more offensive lineman help. So it's a changing of the guard in terms of our perception of the Bengals. There's no more Bengals, at least for now. But we shall see how things go. Cleveland Browns, all hands on deck. It's a pun, it's a pun on, I'm not going to say the word, but feel me, Deshaun Watson, why he's having his league with all hands on, you feel me? But, and realistically, like, real talk though, this is crazy. They're going to need, especially if he's suspended for like 6 games, they're going to need all hands on deck. They're going to need Jacoby Brissett to do something, 3-3, 4-2, like, be positive. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Amari Cooper, they gotta be the Myles Garrett has to be the leader of the team. So like they have Denzel Ward just got paid. They got key pieces in different areas. It's gonna be a full team effort for them to keep them afloat if Deshaun Watson is suspended or not. Dallas Cowboys, can they finally win a playoff game? That's it. That's the question. That's the post. I feel like the Cowboys they're trash because they can never get it done. Like it don't matter if you're beating the Giants and the Commanders now and the Eagles and stuff like that. It doesn't matter if you can't beat anybody in the playoffs. All that success, all that marketing, it really doesn't matter if you can't win it where it counts. So can they win a playoff game finally for the first time? Well, Dak won one, but like another one, please. The man's top 10. People say he's top 10, but he can't prove it. So can they win a playoff game finally?
Finally!
Denver Broncos, no cap, is Super Bowl or bust, because everyone is saying, and I'm kind of on like the same boat, where all they needed was a quarterback. Solid defense, solid pieces around them. Javonte Williams, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, no offense on Seahawks now. Regardless, I feel like literally everyone was saying all they need is a quarterback. Drew Lock was not the good quarterback that they needed, and now they got a first ballot potential Hall of Famer in Russell Wilson. And this is what they needed to take them over the top. So can they win the Super Bowl? Potentially. They got to get through their division first, then win a couple playoff games and get there. But no cap, they gave out a lot for Russell Wilson. You feel me? He's the best quarterback they've had since Peyton Manning retired. So this is it. This is their own chance. Like, not the only chance they have, but for this year, for this experiment to work, Super Bowl or bust. Detroit Lions biting more kneecaps in 2022. Because everyone was not jacking Dan Campbell at first, but his real talk, his passion, the way he coaches the game, the way he respects the game, you cannot help but root for him. Like who would think as a Lions, like for me, like the Lions they were competitive. They lost a lot of close games. Hey, they lost to the Ravens by a 66-yard field goal. Like that's what it took to beat them. Like no cap. Like the Lions were competitive last year, and I think with the addition of Aiden Hutchinson and Jamison Williams and their second, like DeAndre Swift getting better, TJ Hawkinson getting healthy, they got some key pieces. Now are they gonna not tank, but are they gonna be competitive this year? Get the first overall pick and get freaking Caleb Williams or Bryce Young or whoever's the best prospect quarterback, because Jared Goff is not it. Shout out to Matt, he's not it, right? So, but they're gonna be biting more kneecaps because I think they're gonna be extremely competitive. Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers or bust. I think that with the Packers, I feel like they have a lot of work to do because they lost Devontae Adams. And I think Aaron Rodgers realizes that, and he's trying to be more receptive of the new crop of receivers he has. But Aaron Rodgers, he can do it by himself. It's just that, you feel me, can he? And even if they win the division, go to the playoffs. Can they win a playoff game? I don't think that they're good at home. I think if they're a wild card team, you feel me, and they got to do like that and be the underdogs, and they can do that. Aaron Rodgers can steal a game or 2 or 3, but can they do it though? So Aaron Rodgers is the key for the Packers' success. Houston Texans, what are you doing? I feel like when they drafted Derek Stingley Jr. over Sauce Gardner with I think the 3rd overall pick, I was like, what the hell are you doing? That's crazy. So like the whole organization is like a dumpster fire. Like they got a lot of return for Deshaun Watson, which I'm glad, but there's no direction. Are they going to be tanking this year? Or are they going to say they're competitive and then like 4 weeks into the season just decide to tank? We don't know. Davis Mills, he had flashes of a good quality starter. So what are we going to do about that? Indianapolis Colts, Matt Ryan's last hurrah. I think this is it for Matt Ryan. I think that he's old. He's getting up there in age, and he's not like Tom Brady, who's going to play till he's like 45 now. I think Matt Ryan got like 1 or 2 good years left, and then he's going to retire. So, but this time he has a good offensive line with the Colts, and he has a great running back with Jonathan Taylor, and a good quality receiver in Michael Pittman Jr. So I think that if there was any good chance, especially in the average to below average AFC South, they can easily win that division. Their only competition realistically is the Titans. So if they can beat the Titans, you feel me? I think they could get in the playoffs. And shit, with Jonathan Taylor, the way he's playing, the way that Matt Ryan could play out the play action, give it to Michael Pittman, give it to anybody they got, I think if there was any quarterback that the Colts needed, it was the Matt Ryan. No cap. Shout out to AJ, co-worker. He's a big Colts fan, so shout out to you. Jacksonville Jaguars, a well-needed fresh start. I was trying to find an Urban Meyer pun, but last year was crazy. Last year was insane. And I think that the Jaguars, with Doug Peterson, got the fresh start that they needed. Trevor Lawrence in year 2, he's shown flashes last year, but I really think he's going to take another step this year. And they're going to be competitive. Will they win the division? Probably not. But will they be better than, I think, the 2-14, 3-13? For sure. I think so.
It's funny how nobody certain to somebody sometime, and still be a nobody and feel like you're somebody